Excellent. Welcome. You prefer Rick, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Welcome to the City Council. You met some of us on Zoom, but
Yes.
now you get to see us in person. The way this is going to work is that we have a couple questions. I will ask them as we go, and then after I'll open to other counselors if they have other questions for you.
Okay.
So, awesome. Thank you for being
Thank you,
here.
Counselor.
So I wanted to start off by asking what interests you about this position and about working for municipal government.
Well,
If you can just push it and then, nope, let it green.
Okay.
Yep, and now you can let it go. Yeah.
looking at the job description, it looked like I met a lot of the requirements, and I have a wide variety of background, and I've worked for the state for a while, and I've had a little experience with budgeting, working for my church as a treasurer, and it seemed like a great opportunity.
Thank you. I was curious about once you start, how you might learn the scope and the details of the city's operations and our services so that when you're analyzing the budgetary information, the context that you'd have for it.
Well, I would try to understand specifically what the service I'm looking for, look at the laws, the regulations, the policies and the procedures, and then try to, ask employees that are responsible for that section, section, and try to come up with a good idea of what it entails, and see how best I could help.
Thank you. As we discussed in the initial conversation, you would be reporting to the City Council and to the Finance Subcommittee, which is unique in this building, as everybody else just about works under the mayor's direction. So what approaches would you use to access information and establish positive working relationships and gain trust among the other city employees?
Well, I try to, understand, try to learn a little bit about their background, try to understand, get a working relationship with them, try to be friendly. I try to understand what each person does, and see how, what my job entails, and see how I can work with that person to best resolve, what my duties of my job.
And what strategies would you use to communicate that information with the city councilors, so both for individuals and for a group as a whole, so that we could understand your work?
Well, you're saying like working with the people, the information from them, and then
to us, how would you be working for us, to us? What information? How would you be giving us the information?
Well, it depends, specifically what I'm asked to do, but I would, basically, a lot of the tasks I would try to handle, see what the policies, procedures are, like in the state and federal regulations, and if it's something to get, that I think maybe we can maybe get a grant or something to help that. Maybe I could see if we can I can look into see if there's any available state or federal grants that we might be able to use to help.
And final question from me, and then I'll open it to my co-counselors, is what do you imagine your steepest learning curve would be in this position, and how could we, as your supervisors, support you in that?
Well, probably just learning the intricacies of, the city of Framingham, how it works, what the goal, what each individual goal is, person's goal is, what the council's individual goals are, and try to relate that to what the purpose of the city council is, and how I could maybe help an individual councilor meet their goals, and and achieve the major goals of the city council as a whole.
Thank you. So now